Hello again, and welcome to Composer's Workshop. And today we're in the field here on Colorful Channel 33. We've got a fantastic show for you again. We're here at the Alexis Hotel on the waterfront, and we've got some original music, and of course we'll be jamming too for you. It's a real pleasure to be with you. We'd like, as we said in previous shows, we'd like to hear from you. Anytime you want to talk to us, you can call TCI or you can drop us a letter. And a little later on in the program, on your screen, you'll see the address and phone numbers. Thank you very much for being with us today. Well, we're ready to go here to the bandstand, and here's an original tune by Steve Christofferson, and it's called Nevada. Well, there you have it, Nevada, an original composition by Steve Christofferson. And Steve works right here at the hotel playing piano. We're at the fabulous new Alexis Hotel in downtown Portland here on the waterfront. Not only do we have the original tunes, but we're going to jam out for you here in a few minutes. Play some blues and play a couple up tunes. Just party down here. We're with you every week, every Thursday at 4 o'clock. On Color Channel 33, TCI. We've got the best musicians in town. You probably noticed some of the musicians on the last tune. We had Rob Thomas playing violin, Lawrence Williams on drums, a lot of good players. Now we're going to talk to some of the musicians, and we'll get back to the bandstand here in just a minute. But coming into the set now is Dave Hagelgans. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thanks, Ray. Good to be here.
Dave is a fabulous tenor man playing in the city and internationally. Let's see, you went on tour here not too long ago, too.
Yeah, a couple of months ago. Actually, I finished the tour in March. It started in February. No, wait a second. It ended in April. You know, you get so busy you forget which date is which. So it was a couple-month tour up and down the West Coast, California, Arizona, Utah, Nevada.
I understand that the Berlin Jazz Festival wanted to talk to you, too.
Well, there was a rumor, yeah.
Would you like to do some of those, like North Sea and some of those?
Oh, sure, it'd be an honor. It's a musician's dream, you know, to get a chance to play on the same bandstand as the best musicians in the world and be a part of the great tradition of jazz internationally as well as locally.
Well, you're a straight-ahead player. When I say straight-ahead, not a lot of confusion with the fusion.
No, none of that. No, I'm a straight-ahead. 4 on the floor, that's me.
4 on the floor. Are you doing any composing?
Yeah, quite a bit, in fact. I write music in groups of music. I call them series. I write series of environmental statements mostly. The last one that I wrote was a series on problems of forestry in the Northwest, and I wrote a different piece for each kind of forestry harvestation and some of the problems that are involved in that, and then made a little documentary along with each piece. I'm hoping to record them soon.
It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
You've been spending a lot of time fishing.
Yeah, I have.
Fishing.
That's true. That's true.
And do you have a lot of time? Do you think a lot about your tenor and music? And
when I'm out there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely. It's just time for reflection.
Reflection.
I choose to go alone. I have my own little boat, and I spend a lot of time on the lake, sometimes fishing, sometimes just thinking. A lot of great tunes come up.
It's so nice to meditate. It's quiet there in a beautiful setting. Sure. You caught 11, yesterday?
Just the other day, right. 11 largemouth bass.
Great. I'm going to have to go with you one
of these times. Oh, you should. We could have a great time.
I love the fishing.
You bet.
Do you jam much? Do you get around to the sessions?
Not too much anymore. I did for a long time, and I learned a great deal there. There's some things that happen in a jam session that can never be reproduced on a gig because, for one thing, you know who's going to be playing, and you have a general idea what tunes are going to be played. But in a jam session, there's a lot of surprises, and a musician is put, in my opinion, to the ultimate test by having to deal with different conceptions of the music within the tune on the bandstand, tunes maybe you don't know, all kinds of things. So it's a real good way to, as we say, I'm an East Coaster, I'm from New Jersey, by the way, as we say in the East Coast, keep the fire tip up.
Well, then you're not, you're doing a lot of serious thinking about what's up ahead then.
Yeah.
What it sounds like to me. Tell me some of your inspirations on that saxophone.
Well, I would have to say my biggest inspiration has been, and is still, Jimmy Heath. James Heath, who has most recently been from the Heath Brothers, but long before that was a Charlie Parker disciple, to such an extent that his nickname when he was first beginning to play was Little Bird. Little Bird. Little Bird, right. And Joe Henderson, Sonny Rollins.
Yeah, Sonny Rollins, there's another great player.
Right.
He comes through Portland occasionally, but not enough.
Not enough.
We do have some good musicians in town right now.
We do, indeed.
Traveling with Mal Waldron and Eddie Moore.
Oh, yeah.
And
Eddie's a old
Julian
friend of mine. Julian Priester. Jim Pepper's here.
Jim Pepper is here.
Right.
It's a fine session last night, and they're playing again tonight. What about these outdoor sessions like today here? It's a beautiful setting. Can you really get into the music better, you think, on an outdoor setting, or? I
don't know about better, but you can really get into it. You know, it inspires you differently, definitely, because, well, you know, look around you.
Well, I know where you've been. Where would you like to head? What's up ahead for you?
I would like, as a matter of fact, teaching is going to be a big part of my future, and not just as a way to make a living, but because I think somebody has to do it. As Dizzy Gillespie said, somebody's got to pass the music on. You know,
True.
And a lot of people so far have helped me a lot, and I'm sure a lot will in the future. Still developing, but I want to make sure that I make a place for the kids, and I think a way to do that is to be in a position of power, board of directors at the school, where you can really make a difference, because the bottom line is getting enough money to have a place where kids can play, where kids can learn. And there again, the jam session, as we were speaking earlier, that's one of the reasons I don't go to jam sessions too much anymore, is because I think it's a place for new kids in town to stretch their wings. I like to go and listen and support them, but I think, you know, that's a place for the new people in town to really get synced up.
You made a good point, because the young people, we have a wealth of junior colleges and colleges in the area with the stage bands, high school bands.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed at the young players coming up.
Oh, boy.
Well, Pete Epstein.
I knew you were going to say Epstein. All you had to do is say Pete. Yeah, he's a sensation. You bet.
Yeah, he's just coming on stronger and stronger all the time.
That's right.
You'd like to headline, of course, your own group. A quartet, quintet?
Quartet. I'd like to piano, bass, drums, and saxophone. I'd like to record and do some touring on my own. I feel that my calling is straight ahead jazz, and as yet I have not had a chance to do that outside the city of Portland, and so I hope that that's in the future for me as well.
Do you have an agent, or how do you book it?
No, right now I'm just writing the music. You know?
I see.
But I won't say die. I mean, people are out there. The clubs are out there. You know, the people are ready to listen to the music. So I think it's just when a person's ready, then you start selling yourself.
When it's ready, it's time to string it.
Right. I don't quite feel that it's ready. I don't feel like my life is stable enough right now, because sometimes when you first start out, especially, you have to subsidize those tours on your own.
Yes.
And so you need, you know, let's be honest, some cash.
Right. Yeah, the cash money,
Right.
and you have to work in the clubs to get that money.
Right.
And it takes a lot of cash to put these groups together and get on the road. It's so
I would say
expensive,
so. Especially
isn't
to start out, because you can't, you know, you go into other cities for the door, you know, and that's how you have to start. But it takes a while to where you can break even. So.
Well, I like where you're coming from with the young people. Would you teach all aspects of music besides improvisation and jazz? And
well, I would teach what I had to have the power that I would need to make a difference for the kids, which would probably mean being a music department director at a community college, which is a lot of work, but I feel that with that I could maybe establish a club on campus for the kids. It would be open all the time. It would feel like a club. It would look like a club. It would have a rhythm section. They could get up there and lock horns and make mistakes, and it'd be a serious thing. Another thing I'm doing is writing a book on jazz improvisation right now.
Excellent.
For that cuts through a lot of the red tape and deals with things that are more pertinent to actually playing rather than a lot of exercises that, quite frankly, don't get you anywhere. So I'm interested in the kids.
Well, let me say this, Dave. You know, I've been around in music for a long time, and I say this with all sincerity and from my heart, that I think you're the finest tenor saxophone player up and coming that I've ever heard.
Oh, man.
And if you just stayed on that path, you're a monster already, but you're going to be a super monster.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks for
a lot.
being with me.
All right.
Thanks for
My
being
pleasure,
with us.
man. Okay.
Well, there you have it, Dave Hagelgans. Beautiful player. Of course, his father was an excellent player, too. So it's passed down through the generations with these players. We have some outstanding players here. Now we're going to go back to the bandstand and an original tune by Lawrence Williams called Prelude Number 1. And then we'll talk with some more of the artists here. Improv, as you will have it. We'll have dancers here today. Just a lot of things are happening. As I said earlier, we'll be jamming out. So stand by for that. So let's go now to the bandstand. And here he is, Lawrence Williams, and Prelude Number 1. And you can hear the crowd around us. That's an original by Lawrence Williams, our drummer, and he'll be on the panel here in a few minutes. We're on the waterfront at the Alexis Hotel, and it is a hot day. Over 90 out here. You see a lot of the musicians leaving the set and trying to cool off a little bit, or putting on a hat to keep the sun off the head. We're not trying to be cool here on camera. We're just trying to stay cool. It is very warm. Well, we've got a lot of show up ahead here. This is Composer's Workshop. The first two tunes, original tunes. We like to do a lot of the original music. That's why it's called Composer's Workshop. Of course, we'll be jamming out here in a few minutes, too, so you'll want to stand by along the cable channel, Channel 33, where we're with you every week. We come on the channel on 33 Thursdays at 4 o'clock. We're doing a live taping affair today, and as I said, we have a lot of show coming up. I want to talk to Akbar. This is our new face to me, and we want to talk Akbar. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Am I saying that right?
Yes, Akbar DePriest.
And you're a percussionist drummer.
Drummer, yes.
And where's home?
I'm a native Californian, but I'm coming from, I'm coming from Arizona right now, and Colorado. I've been playing in that area for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What, straight ahead, blues?
Well, yeah, straight ahead. I was in Europe with Dexter Gordon, and those guys in Copenhagen. So I'm from that school.
Okay.
Kenny Drew.
Kenny Drew. What a
Niels
great
Austin.
line he plays on piano.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He was talking about Dexter. He was nominated for Academy Award with that.
Yeah, he over here he came in second, but actually in Italy he won. Yes, yeah.
And made me feel so good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I thought he did an excellent job. His mannerisms were so fine.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think he's ever done a movie before.
Well, yeah,
Or
this
did he
is
do
his
some
second
shorts?
movie. There was a movie done. I guess in the late '40s, early '50s. It was an anti-marijuana movie. One of the old ones,
One of the old ones.
Called Reefer Madness.
Oh, was he in Reefer
Yeah.
Madness? Well, it's a pleasure having you here in Tana. I know we're going to hear a lot from you, but I want to get to you some background. Where did it all start? And just rap about it.
Actually, the east side of Los Angeles. I was raised up listening to Dexter, and Wardell Gray.
Wardell.
I consider myself from the school of drums of Frank Butler. He's from the West. Well, he's from Kansas City, as Lawrence is, but he made California his home. And so I was able to study under him with Billy Higgins. Billy Higgins and I came up in the same neighborhood and stuff.
Billy. It wasn't too
So there
long
was a
ago
lot
Billy
of
was
drummers
through.
around.
Yeah,
I
great
heard-
drummers too.
Yeah.
That really paid the dues.
Right. Lawrence
And
Marble, he's also one
Lawrence
of my
Marble,
mentors.
another fine.
Right.
Leroy Vinegar worked a lot with Lawrence.
Well, that's
They had
one of my
a couple
reasons for
albums.
being here in this area is Leroy.
Is
because-
Leroy.
Yeah.
He's made quite an impression up here.
He's a real peer, and he's really an artist, and that wherever he is, there's going to be something
happening.
Yeah, definitely.
I like his idea and what he wants to do, to put the money together and get an old warehouse where they could have a rehearsal band, also teach the young people.
Well, that's what he's really
music.
interested in is getting the music to the young people, because they're the ones that'll carry it on, and keep it alive. So I really endorse his
ideas. Europe is so much different than the States.
Oh, well, definitely, because in Copenhagen, I remember playing with Dollar Brand, Abdullah, and there were children under the piano. You know what I mean? Like they allowed them to come in, and it really changed the atmosphere of the whole place, just having children around. And they're really open, their minds are open so that you can
That's
play
right.
almost anything for them.
And they're going to dig it.
They can dig it, yeah.
I might mention that, not a lot of young people get exposed to the music here because of the older folks. In Europe, when they have concerts, you see Dad with the little girl on his shoulder and the mama walking hand in hand with the boy, and they're going together to the concerts and to hear the music, and they're explaining what's happening too.
Well, sort of what you're doing right here. When I was in Europe, it was in 1970, 70 to 73 in Scandinavia, and the average high school kid or even younger knew the history of jazz in this country. I mean, they really knew it. And they taught it, and they had TV shows then.
Yes.
Almost like what you're doing.
And nothing was
with
happening
the late
here.
Ben Webster, he was over there. He was a TV star, and
Yeah.
he had to go there though in order to even find a listening audience.
They had a lot of fine musicians in the Scandinavian countries. I recall was Lars Gullen
Yes,
in those years.
Lars. Bo Steve.
Uh-huh.
He's our one. The Neil Osted.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, a great bass player.
Of course, he's right.
Great bass player. He's really done did some great things with Oscar Peterson.
Right,
Of course, he worked
exactly.
with everybody, and everybody loved it.
Well, Ed Thigpen lives there now. So
Oh, Ed does?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
he lives in
A lot
Copenhagen.
of folks like Mel Waldron comes over, but he's right back to Munich, Germany.
Right,
I
exactly.
mean, he does a gig, and then he's
I just
back on
saw
the
him, and
plane.
he was. In fact, I was able to tell him to tell some of my friends hello back there. And
Yeah, he said he's going back to Toronto and then right on back to Munich.
back to Munich, yes.
They treat the musicians like they treat judges and professional people
Oh
here.
yes, that's exactly
And,
right. They really show respect, and they make you feel so, really you
Part of
really
the
appreciate.
family,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
I mean, they invite you in their home to break bread.
We went
with
to
them.
Pescara, Italy, and we did a festival in the jazz festival in Pescara, and they gave me a driver. There was a guy who actually was there to pick me up, to take me to the gig, and to bring me back. I think she's.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You know, we could talk all night about
Yeah,
this, you
right.
know. I noticed you played a various group of percussion instruments. It just adds so much to it. That last tune that Lawrence wrote, it made me feel like I was in Cairo or a Persian marketplace.
He really writes beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
he does. He's just a gorgeous thing.
He just really has a.
We're gonna
for a drummer to write like that,
yeah,
it's
for a drummer
beautiful.
to write. Yeah,
That's right.
composer, drummer.
It really gives you
Yeah, I love that.
gives the rhythm a chance.
Well, I want to say again, welcome to the Portland area, and we're going to hear a lot of you. And I want to hear more, not only in the concerts, but in the clubs, too.
Well, thank you
Let
very
you
much.
stretch out and play.
Thanks a lot.
And it's a pleasure having you here on the show on Composer's Workshop.
Thank you very
A
much.
real pleasure. Well, there we have it. One of the finest drummers here coming to Portland. Portland now is a mecca, drawing people from all over the world, professional musicians. Leroy Vinegar, Dave Frischberg, and on and on and on. Portland is really a capital of jazz activity these days. Well, we're going to get back to more jazz here. We're going to jam a little bit here. And I see we got Tom Wakeling is on bass, and Akbar, we're going to set him at the skins here. And Dave Mitchell is on trumpet. Rob Thomas is there. And we're changing the set now. I have to peek over for a minute and to see Don Alberts at piano. And we're going to get Dave Hagelgans here on his beautiful tenor work. And we're just going to jam. I don't know if what are you going to do? The blues or Softly as the Morning Sunrise. So it's back to the bandstand, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're jamming out here at the Alexis. That was Softly as the Morning Sunrise, and it features Don Alberts and the quintet with Akbar playing drums. He's a fantastic drummer, too, along with some great local musicians, probably the cream of the crop here. We're very fortunate here on Channel 33. See if I can get that name right now. I'm going to have trouble with it, but Salinka Knott? Salinda Knott. And we're out in front of the hotel, the Alexis, and she is the hotel manager. And welcome to Channel 33.
Well, thank you very much.
And thank you for supporting us here.
Well,
and with the piano and, of course, the location and all of the things that you're doing. It's beautiful.
Well, thanks.
And home is where?
My home is in Iowa City, Iowa.
Iowa City, Iowa. How long have you been with the company?
I have been working for Cornerstone since 1985. We opened the hotel in November of 85.
November of 85.
I came on board in June to get ready.
As you can see with our camera work, the beautiful hotel behind us here. It's a beautiful natural setting. The center of everything here in town.
Actually, our bar is probably the best kept secret in Portland. It's right behind us, and that's where Steve and Lawrence play.
Good.
And Wade plays the vibes.
I understand you have jazz on the intercom, or
well, throughout the day we have great jazz tapes.
Beautiful.
And then in the evenings we of course have Steve on the jazz piano, and when we can get Lawrence on the drums and Wade on the vibes. So.
Now, your company has really grown. I thought there's only the other hotel in Seattle, but...
We started with the Seattle Alexis as a small luxury hotel, very much a market leader, and then opened the River Place Alexis, which is a resort in the middle of the city. And subsequent to that, we have the Oxford Alexis in Denver, built in 1891.
1891.
And the rooms are very unusual because, of course, the hotel was built with no bathrooms because they didn't exist back
in
then.
those years.
It was down the hall.
Down the hall.
So there's some rooms that have these huge bathrooms because those were the communal down the hall bathrooms. And then added them on later. In those rooms you have to take a step up because there's the plumbing. So it's all very original and a very wonderful hotel. And had the jazz corner there.
Oh, you do have jazz there,
yes,
too?
Yes.
What about Seattle? Some of your other operations, they do jazz there?
Well, in Seattle, it's just more smaller, scaled down.
Piano bar type?
Actually, we have a piano in our lobby, and the bar is a bookstore.
A bookstore?
Yeah. The whole thing is solid with books.
Where do all these ideas come from?
Well,
innovations.
I would say the original innovator is Paul Schell, who is the president of Cornerstone Columbia, who is a man with incredible vision and energy, and allows his managers and his vice presidents, all to operate with a lot of creativity. And each hotel has its own special niche.
Now you have. How many rooms in this hotel?
In the hotel, we have 74 rooms. They're appointed very much like a residential room would be. The televisions are there, but they're hidden away in armoires behind doors. And of course, the doors slide open, the TV comes out, remote control, rheostats on the lights, the kinds of things one would have at home. We also lease condominiums immediately adjacent to the hotel.
I see.
So we have currently 8 condominiums, fully furnished, fully equipped kitchens, and those are available for a day, a week, a month, or
family
longer.
Settings or small groups for meetings
exactly.
and things like that. And then you have Fresca.
Right. In between the hotel and the condominiums is the patio. We have original names here, the bar and the patio. And the patio is a terraced effect, which features great mesquite grilled food and features sandwiches and, of course, all the libations to kick back in the late afternoon and just watch the river and the boats go by. So.
You're quite young. And,
thank you. Not really.
Well, you look quite young to me and very pretty to be. I don't think that is prerequisite to be a manager of a fine hotel like this. You probably had a lot of training to get to this spot.
Yes, I definitely did. I, out of college, was in the resort business at one resort in Colorado for 7 years, and then 5 years at Sun River Resort, which is located over in Central Oregon.
5 years at Sun River?
So that was a strong 12-year background, and then I was recruited away by AT&T to sell to hotels.
Is that
so
right?
I learned that, the equivalent of MBA, all about the financial side of managing a hotel.
You've had quite a background to get to this place.
Oh, yes.
And would you like to stay with the, what are some of your hopes and desires?
Well, just to make this hotel the very best that it can be.
Well, you're really on your way already with that.
Well,
I can
that's
see that.
due to the incredibly friendly staff that we have and the ability of all the managers and all the staff to really serve.
Where do you get your reservations coming in? Do you have 800 numbers? Or
Well, we have an 800 number, but a lot of it is just the influence of people here in Portland, the people who come and have dinner at the Esplanade or come in for our dessert buffet in the bar, and they think, gee, when Aunt so-and-so comes or when my company has its meeting, we have convention meeting rooms as well.
Excellent.
So a lot of it is just the influence of the wonderful people here in Portland. So
And your lounge with music is open?
we're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
We have a Noon River lunch.
Noon River
Noon
line.
River for lunch.
All right. I'll
And the
go with that.
And the dessert bar in the evening.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, again, thank you very much for being with us. Let's see if I can get it right. Celinda Knott,
Right.
our Alexis Hotel manager. And if you're along the line watching us, come down and visit us. You'll love it here. Thank you again
Thanks,
for
Rick.
being with us. Well, we're going to go back to the bandstand now, ladies and gentlemen, here on Colorful Channel 33 on Composer's Workshop. And we do want to thank you very much for being with us. And we believe that we have some of the top musicians on this particular show. And people are starting to rap about this. This is a hot television show. You'll not find this anywhere, as when we rap with the musicians and find out where they're coming from, where they're going, and of course, original music. Well, you can be with us every week. And you know, not only on Thursday at 4 o'clock, we're on Wednesdays, we're on Tuesday at 10, we're on Rogers 33, we're on during the weekend. So there's a lot of coverage of this music, the American art form we call jazz. Well, let's get back to the bandstand now, and Steve Christofferson and the All-Star unit ready to whip one up. Taking it on down here this afternoon at the Alexis Hotel. And we have a nice little crowd here. That's another show here on Channel 33. It's been a warm one today. We appreciate you being with us along the Cable 33. Of course, we'll be back next week with another brand new show. That means I think we've done 9 now. 8 or 9, I can't remember. But it's a pleasure working with all of these fine local musicians and all of the fine players on the panel. And of course, we did Northwest African Workshop, where we had Ruby Burns in doing the dance. I hope you'll join us again along the way. Remember, we are on Channel 33, and you can write to us, you can talk to us. We do need your support. So drop us a line, call us on the phone. Let us know what you think about what we're doing here for you. We love you, and we'll see you next week. So long out there.